Hello again. In a previous video I talked about the drawers that I was building for my lathe stand, and I talked about my dovetail slides, which are going to be what the drawers ride on. And I talked about how I was going to try to put a block on the back and put some pegs through it, and the pegs were going to be what held the back of the drawer on, while screw holes in the front, countersunk screws, were going to hold the front of the drawer on. So this is a little progress report on that. These worked out really well. I've just been taking very, very careful measurements, and I've switched from using, let's see, where to go. I've switched from using a pencil for my markings to a little probe, and I think I'm going to pick up one of those little marking knives that woodworkers use, because making a little pinpoint with this, or scribing circles from through other circles and things like that, is working really well. Okay, so I have a block that I glued on last night, and I just clamped these with spring clamps, 3 of them, until it's set. And this thing's on there. Wood glue is really, really strong stuff. And if I tried to take this off, I'd actually tear the wood fibers apart instead of tearing the glue. In case you haven't worked with wood glue before, it's pretty amazing stuff. And this is Titebond 3, which is sort of top of the line wood glue, very strong and waterproof and all that other goodness. So I found for marking the holes, I just drilled these roughly. I just made a quick pin mark with the probe there and drilled by hand before I glued it on. To make the hole marks, I just put it on the back here, and then I took the brad point bit and stuck it through. Brad point bits are flat on the bottom, but they have a little pin in the middle which helps hold them in place while they're drilling. So I just stuck it through there and twisted it, and that left a perfect centered mark. And then I just carefully drilled the holes to depth, which I just set with a stop on the drill press. I just lowered it visually outside here until I got to the depth I wanted. Put the stop down in place so it couldn't be lowered any more than that, and then just drilled the holes. Lining this back up, I was able to take this wooden dowel, which I've been sanding to shrink a little bit because it's too tight to stuff in there, which is great. That gives me the option to make it as tight as I want. And twisting it through and into the hole all the way to the bottom. And then once it's all the way in, I just take a little bit of this thin CA glue, which is like super glue. It's a kind of super glue. Super glues are CA glues. It's cyanoacrylate. And then I've been sanding these a little bit just to give them a little bit of a taper. But it's only taken a few minutes really to get done this work. It's been pretty nice, and they go together perfectly. It's a press fit, and that thing's pretty on there. That's only to keep the back registered though. In the front of the drawer, when these are slid back, the countersink holes in the front of this dovetail line up with those because I drilled them both at the same time very carefully. So I will be able to get little wood screws and put them through there. So what that means is that this, and I'm going to put some more countersinks back here so that I can put this in the back, drill this to the back face frame. I guess it wouldn't be the face frame, but it's a back frame. Push this in, sit the drawer on it from outside, push it back, and get those pegs lined up and push it in until it's seated, and then pull the drawer out and just from underneath put in the screws to lock the front on. So that'll give me a way to, with 2 screws, unlock the drawer and pop the drawer right off the dovetails if I need to get back inside the cabinet or take the drawer out for whatever reason. So looks like it's coming along. The back is not pretty. This is wood glue. I used a scraper. Once I pinned these down with the spring clamps, I just put the scraper down the side and smeared it out so the glue goes like that. I'm not even going to bother cleaning it up because it's going to be under the drawer. The drawer is going to be on top of that. And the back I didn't worry about too much. They're not pretty. So looks like it's going to work. I do this a lot. I just tend to make up stuff and try it out. It looks like this one's going to work out. More updates later.